You have found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls, a member of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making us your first listen today. On today's episode, me and Pat the Designer, we're going to talk about the Bulls' big win over the Los Angeles Clippers, DeMar's 50-piece, and also preview the game this Saturday against the Miami Heat. We're going to do all that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for joining Locked On Bulls, your team every day. On today's episode, me and Pat, we got some things for you guys. First off, Pat, we got to talk about it. The Bulls in a playoff atmosphere game, a game in which they really let the second and part of the third quarter slip away from them. Well, most of that lead got built up in the first quarter, but the Bulls battled back. I've been saying for a while, Pat, the thing that made me most upset as a Bulls fan is questioning the heart and determination of this team. We saw this team fight back in ways that we have not seen in quite a while. Big contribution from Patrick Williams down the stretch. He had his first double-double in his return, but a 50-piece from DeMar DeRozan. But overall, the Bulls win. Let's talk about it. How do you feel coming in here talking about a dub?
I mean, can we call what I'm doing talking? I don't know how I sound right now. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I have no voice left because I was over on the Windy City Breeze doing the live call of the game. And, dog, when I tell you we had over 1,000 people in that mug, that thing was cracking out there. It was a great finish to a game that left you feeling like there were some questions before you got to that point, right? Like, I came out of that game going into the half saying that the Bulls were like Shaq with shooting free throws, with how they were playing their game.
That is good in that. I like what the
What I mean by that. If y'all don't know this, go look up Shaq's trainer who would essentially help him shoot free throws in practice. He said they would work and work and work, and they would come up with a routine. And they got to a point where it was 1-2 dribble, shoot. 1-2 dribble, breathe, shoot. 1-2 dribble, breathe, shoot. He said he'd shoot 80%. He'd go into the game. 1 dribble, shoot. 1-2-3, shoot. 1-2, breathe, make one. 1, shoot. Get to a point, he's not even dribbling no more. He's just putting it up there. And then Shaq would come after the game and be like, well, that was all for nothing. It's like, well, you didn't do the things that we did. They got you to the point where things worked. The Bulls reminded me of that same thing for most of that game, bro. I mean, they got outscored early, that 32-22 first, and then it was kind of even the rest of the way. And honestly, if you looked at the numbers, you would think that the Bulls were actually winning the game the whole way through. They were winning points off turnovers. They were winning rebounding battle. They were winning the offensive board. They were winning the turnover battle. Like, you would have looked at that game and been like, yo, like, who's winning? And the whole time, we're down 11.
Yeah.
But it was the things that they were doing that you had to – the ISO ball was coming back, the not moving the ball around, the not looking for Vooch in the paint. Vooch got the first 8 points of the game, and then he had 8 points going into the half.
Yeah.
Like, it was blowing my mind. But then the first quarter came. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was the players. I don't know if it was Billy. I'll give credit to whoever needs credit. Somebody walked out, first play, set the screen, come off of it, get it to the big fella.
Yep.
Vooch, turn around, lay, comes down, next play, let's go, down low, throw it down to the big fella, turn around, lay, next play after that, come down, throw it down to the big fella. Now they got a double team. Here's P. Will wide open in the corner for a 3.
Beautiful 3 at that.
Instant, like,
the arch on P. Will's 3
I don't want to
is beautiful.
I don't want to call him like the robot because I know that's what they do with Kawhi and all of that, right? But he's how you teach someone to shoot a jumper. Like, when you watch it, it's just like, and it reminds me of the robot that's overseas that be shooting like the 3-pointers from like half court and it never misses. So like that is so technical, but it allows everyone to get into a rhythm. You got a lot of rhythm players on this team, man. You do. You got a lot of rhythm players on this team. And if you're not getting them into a rhythm, I love DeMar's 50. I love what we saw from him. And you needed every bucket of it tonight to get to this dub. You don't get it without that. But let's be real. The Bulls offensively put themselves in this position in that first quarter. Because if you, like, they were knocking down tough shots. Bulls weren't playing bad defensively. They were knocking down bodied up. Marcus Morris Sr. out here knocking down like he was DeMar DeRozan. I was like, what am I looking at right now? So
his
like,
mid-range games was crazy.
That's ridiculous, bro.
At the end of the first half, the Bulls were winning the turnover battle. They were only being out-rebounded by one. They had I believe it was 10 assists to 19 made baskets at that point in the halftime. So looking at everything in that first half, it was like, listen, the Bulls are taking care of the things that they usually don't take care of. The only thing that was hurting the Bulls really in that first, not only was it the Clippers hot shooting, but the Bulls at that point were shooting, I think, like 28% overall from the field in the first half. They come back in this game, they shoot a way better percentage, ending the game with 49% overall shooting, 34% from three-point range. That really changed the dynamic of the game. But like you said, the things that got the Bulls to that point of being able to play better offense was they fed the big man in the second half, and it changed that outlook of the game. Patrick Williams coming in. Patrick Williams, who was on a minutes restriction of 26 minutes, 37 minutes in this game, hit 2 clutch threes, got 1 clutch block. He got 2 blocks overall in the game. He was 4 for 4 from the field. A double-double, 10 and 12 off the, and then I want to see when the breakdown comes out of the minutes that Vooch and Patrick Williams were playing together. Yeah. How good it looked. The Bulls unlocked the lineup in this game. It was Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Nikola Vucevic out there all together. That when this team was taking that lead back, that was your lineup on the court. And the fact is, and one of the things that I talked about in my post game show that I think we need to unlock is rather than look at what Vooch does separately and what Patrick does together, because ideally, whenever they get back to starting together, they're a unit. The fact that Patrick Williams and Nikola Vucevic combined for 32 points and 26 rebounds, that's what you want from a front court, right? Am I off basis with that, Pat?
No, listen, that's the best thing you can hope for from this Bulls team. Yeah. You got to understand, Zach is not healthy. Zach is playing to help you. So guess what? That doesn't mean shoulder the load yourself. That means find somebody else that can help you. Who can help you? The big guy down low.
Definitely.
He makes life easier for the rest of this team. And I felt like you saw it at the beginning of the game. I'm like, okay. I literally started off the game screaming, feed Vooch. He's eating down there. And as the game went on, I'm like, he hasn't even touched the ball. What are we doing? He's shooting jump shots. He was like, I think it was like 3 for 8 or 3 for 9 at one point. You know what I'm saying? I was like, he's shooting jump shots. What the heck are we doing now? Like, why is he shooting in the second half, fourth quarter especially starts, and you see them start to open up their offense with him. You see DeMar start to take off when he's giving the ball to Vooch. You see how talented that this team can be when they're all playing at that similar level, when they're all playing that way and that style of offense. And listen, I understand you have to do things differently versus better teams because better teams are going to play better against you than the Washington Wizards are. But you try what works. And guess what? If it works, you use that. What would you see? Why can't I think of who the heck we just played? The Clippers tonight. Hey, it's been a long night, dog. What'd you see the Clippers do tonight? The second they felt like they might lose this game, run the pick and roll. Run the pick and roll.
Pick and roll.
Run the pick and roll.
Let's also, I want to acknowledge this because for the Vooch haters, did you see Vooch in the fourth quarter when he got switched on Reggie Jackson, staying with Reggie Jackson on the perimeter for 3 possessions? Listen, Vooch was out there guarding, bro. I will be too, bro. The first time it happened, I said, "What are you doing?" Then when he stayed with him, now he did score on that first possession, but when they went back, Vooch was in position like he was Joakim Noah guarding a guard out there, like. There's not anything you want to bet on Vooch doing every single game, but the fact that he did it in this game, again, when this team showing that heart and determination, people doing things that they don't usually do to help win the game, that possession, especially with PG out the game, Reggie Jackson was killing us. Yeah. Vooch being able to stay with Reggie Jackson out on the perimeter was something that I don't want to go overlooked because it helped put us in a position to seal this game.
100%. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I was watching that every time he did, and I was like, "Oh God, oh, he's on his toes.
Yeah.
He's on his toes. He's leaning forward. Okay, good positioning. Keep the arms up. Hey, just stay upright, bro, boy. Stay upright." Because Reggie Jackson had already had some people going the wrong direction. Ayo Dosunmu was looking left. Reggie Jackson went right.
Bro, I got so frustrated with Ayo Dosunmu on that. I know exactly what play you're talking about. This game was a ball of emotions for me, from being upset to being happy to being nervous to being happy again. Listen, I went through every stage of it today. But we're going to get into the big night that DeMar DeRozan had and how it helped this team as well as other players. But first, I want to talk to you guys about BetOnline. After months of playing, college basketball has determined it's the top teams for the Final Four and will determine this year's national champion this coming week. BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. From all the latest odds, contests, and player props, you name it. BetOnline remains the best spot for all your latest sports developments, including podcasts and reviews for all the leagues this season. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your continued source for all the sporting wagering information needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. Head to the website and use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Pat, DeMar, he got his 50-piece. It felt like it was going to happen at some point this season. A 50-piece with DeMar DeRozan. Let's go over the stats. 17 for 26 shooting, 2 for 2 from three-point, 14 to 15 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, 50 points from DeMar DeRozan. How did it feel to see DeMar drop a 50-piece in this game?
Well, he's a professional bucket getter. Like, it was like watching a professional go to work, my boy. Like, if we're being 100% about it, am I going to say that every part of him getting this was like, hey, man, that's what we need right now? No. But you kept this game close in the moments you needed to keep it close. And when he needed to turn into that one-on-one demon that he can be, he did. And this is the biggest thing that you have to understand with the NBA, because there's still going to be people in here like, the DeMar ISO ball is killing us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a situational thing. When he can do something like this, which he's that level of player, when he does something like this, you got to look at when he's picking his shots. He was methodical about the night.
Yeah.
It wasn't when he was getting double teamed. It wasn't when they were trying to trap him. He was either splitting double teams, getting to the bucket, or he was kind of doing that little pump fake action, pump low. Hey, let's step through. Double team comes. Guess what? I'm going to kick this down. And you saw once he started doing that more and more in the second half, the Clippers didn't know how to defend him again. Again, what did I say? It's hard to defend this team when you got to try to play DeMar DeRozan as we're just going to send 2 guys at you. Okay, Now you're going to leave the big dude open. That's great, cutting to the bucket. Oh, well, we'll rotate somebody over. Okay, rotate somebody. You saw it, right? Like, there was one point I did get frustrated with DeMar.
Mm-hmm.
When we started coming back.
Several points for me.
Yeah. Well, when we started coming back, though, it was like he wasn't realizing who was guarding him on the on the switch. He would get to the middle, pump fake, pull up, and it's Zubac coming over with a hand. And I'm like, look, the big dude's leaving you, and the small people are on Vooch. Legitimately, next play comes down, pump fake, Zubac is there, easy dish, Vooch right there, boom, big lay. And by the way, for anybody that's still on the trade, Vooch, yeah, y'all sound dumb at this point. Y'all sound dumb at this point, bro. That man was getting grown man rebounds out there, bro. Like, I got nothing left to argue with y'all on. But I mean, I'll ask you this, right? Did it feel like 50?
It didn't.
Until we got to like 42, I was like, wait a minute, he might go for 50 in this joint.
Yeah, it wasn't until the close to the closing minutes of the fourth quarter when I think he had 40, like you said, it was like 42, I think, and I was like, damn, DeMar may get a 50-piece. So yeah, it didn't, like, it really felt, and maybe it was just me being so blinded because I was really pissed off with a couple of shots that DeMar took that when it came close to the game. And one thing that we do have to talk about is that off-ball foul for DeMar that got him a free throw and us the ball back, and then that 3-point that foul on the 3-point line. like the way that this worked, it was fate. And I know some people are going to say, well, what if Paul George was playing in overtime? The Bulls probably don't win that game. We'll address that at some point. But right now we're talking about DeMar DeRozan. And I love the way that I love everything. Go ahead. What's the counter? Go ahead. Let's get to it.
What did he shoot versus Alex Caruso last time they played?
There you go.
And guess what he shot tonight?
7 for 22. Like, he got 22 points on 20 shots. Like, come on. There's a reason why they were going to Reggie Jackson in the stretch.
And by the way, Reggie, he getting ready to be Reggie Jordan. I don't think people understand this. I had to say this on the other day too. This is your 8th seed.
Yeah.
And they also took the Suns to 6 last year, and they're better now. This might be more interesting in the playoffs than we think. But no, like I watched DeMar's fit. I mean, like you said, there were so many moments where it's like, I'm just frustrated. What are you doing, dog? Like, you got to have a higher IQ than this. You got to do this. And then there were other moments where it's like, this dude's the greatest dude in the world. Like, he's the greatest player in the NBA right now. Like, what are we looking at?
Yeah. What are we talking about? I love when you. What are we talking about?
He killing me. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
I mean. Let me ask you this, dog. Like, based on what you saw tonight, how do you feel with how this Bulls team is playing moving forward? Do you feel like this is a thing that can carry over? Like, you needed all of DeMar's 50 piece to win this game tonight, but Reggie Jackson had 37, so that's not surprising.
Yeah. And the Bulls shot so terribly in the first. If the Bulls shot even close to their averages in the first half, we're talking about a completely different game. When you ask, is this something sustainable? I would say that the defense definitely is. You don't always want to depend on DeMar to have to give you 50, right? Like you don't always want to depend on that. But I think that the Bulls should take a moment. I mean, I'll take it for sure. I mean, if he could do it from now to the end of the season, my friend Cook. But the fact that I think the heart that this team had to play with, the momentum that it can definitely carry forward. Especially, you got to test in the number 1 team in the East in Miami coming in town Saturday. I like that leading into the playoffs. As bad as things have been since the All-Star break, we're on a 2-game winning streak now. We'll see how long that gets pushed. But more than wins, I want to see this heart and determination to carry on. That's what I want to see carry on, because I think with that heart, determination, and focus on the defensive end, the Bulls are always going to be able to do enough to be able to win the game. They're not always going to win it, but they're going to be able to do enough to always put them in position to be able to win games.
Did it feel like this was more of a cerebral win by the end of it than a talent win?
Billy Donovan needs his flowers as well in this game. He needs his flowers in this game. This definitely felt like more of a strategy. I don't know if it was just the players being out there executing better. Like I said, something was a lock with that lineup with Patrick Williams, Alex Caruso, DeMar, Zach, and Vooch. Again, it something needs to be. Billy Donovan threw out a challenge to Patrick Williams, and when Billy Donovan was saying, "Hey, you need to basically earn your starting position," I think that was a motivating factor. And Patrick Williams, to his credit, took that motivation and said, "All right, I hear you, coach," and has responded very well in 2 games since.
Everybody, do yourselves a favor: go listen to P. Will's post-game press conference, and then go listen to Debo's. P. Will said too much.
Did he? What did he say?
He basically tells him what Debo told him. And then you hear Debo, he's like, who told y'all that? Pat told y'all that? Oh no, bro. Like, he can't be. We gotta teach him. Don't worry, he young. I'm sorry.
He's young. We
gotta teach him. So fam, they're in his ear. They're talking to him. And here's the thing. We all understand that if he goes, like that dunk, I was hyped. I'm not surprised.
No, this is what Patrick Williams does, man. Like dunk. That was a momentum that the Bulls need. I think that was the dunk that got it down to 4. That was a
4, but I think they came down immediately, hit a 3.
Yeah. But that was such a momentum play. And listen, the Bulls answered almost every play down the stretch that the Clippers made with another play, and they were able to keep that momentum. The United Center seemed like it was rocking today. This is the type of win we need to see from our Chicago Bulls.
Hey, I gotta call out the fans at the UC. Listen, I get it, we down. I don't know if it's because we back from COVID, but the UC used to rock no matter what.
That is true.
We was quiet in that mud. I heard the defense. Shut up.
The baby Bulls who used to lose games by 10 and 12 points. The United States, you would have thought that we had the best team in the NBA. We
Bro,
do need to get back to that,
we
Pat.
gotta
Definitely
get
back
back
to it.
on our business, bro. We're not doing it right, bro. I mean, I was literally talking about. I said, "Hey, everybody, prepare yourself." I told the chat, "Prepare yourselves for playoff basketball." I don't know if y'all too young to have experienced real playoff basketball, like when we were going to the Eastern Conference Finals and NBA championships. But the United Center shakes.
Yeah.
Like it physically vibrates. You can feel the building. And like, it's not really like a bunch of people moving or doing nothing. I think it's just all of us shaking our legs at the same time. And you can feel the building rocking, bro. It's crazy. So I was like, prepare yourselves for playoff basketball. We got playoff basketball coming, man. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Just like I was in the game where I said, if who we lose to the Knicks, if they play like that, we won't beat anybody. You play like you did tonight in that second half, you'll beat everybody. There'll be a lot of teams. Like you might eventually run into a team with a talent where you have a talent deficiency, but you won't run into a team where you can't be competitive in the series. So they showed us, show me again. And just like they showed us, man, we got to show y'all something, or at least tell you about it. Y'all need to go see it for yourself, because Built Bar is where it's at. This time of year, I'm normally giving up on my New Year's resolution, but not this year. Sticking to the resolution to eat right. Thanks to Built Bar, it almost feels like it's not really a resolution because I actually enjoy eating them. Me and Haize been telling you about the Puffs for so long. If you ain't tried them at this point, you're just hating on them. If you haven't, you are missing out on the best bars that are on the market. Puffs are the first ever protein-infused marshmallow. They're fluffy. They're marshmallowy. They're not just a protein bar. They are a treat, and they're 100% covered in real chocolate. Bro, they're so fire, and they come in so many flavors. The yummy cinnamony churro, coconut marshmallow, banana cream pie, fire. It's going to be your new favorite. And think about it. When you think about a candy bar, right? 240 grams of sugar, 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, 240 grams of sugar, you're going to die. 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, and dozens of net carbs. Most Built Bars only contain 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. Let me tell you about Built Bar, man. They worry about how it's going to taste, and they make it taste delicious first, and then they figure out how to make it healthy. I don't know how they do it, but they pull it off every time. So go to BuiltBar.com and use the promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off of your order. Use the promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com.
All right, let's get into the last topic for the day. We got the Miami Heat coming in town Saturday. Now, the Bulls are riding some high momentum on a 2-game winning streak, especially the way that they had to win this game. Pat, I ask you this, man. What chances are you giving the Bulls in the United Center against the number one team as of right now in the East, Miami Heat?
I'm proponent to the odds playing out. There's going to be, based on the record that we have right now. What do we got? 6 games left?
5
games left
now. Yeah.
So we're going to lose 1 based on where we play. It might be this one. But that depends on what this team can do. That depends on if this carryover is real. And that depends on if they figured it out, right? Because Vooch going up against Bam Adebayo, very different than Vooch going up against Zubac. But you have to make that presence known, because if Bam is worried about stopping Vooch down low, on the other side, he's going to struggle a little bit scoring the ball as well, because he's focusing in so hard defensively. There's a reason why Miami doesn't score a ton of points.
Mm-hmm.
I think they average 112 points on the season or something like that.
Okay.
There's a reason they don't score a ton of points. They're a team that, I said 112 points like that wasn't a ton of points.
I know where you're getting at, though.
They're a team that they will focus in defensively, and they'll sacrifice on the offensive end to try and make that work. What are they averaging right now? Actually, no, they're 29th in the NBA in pace, 95.8. So
okay,
they'll sacrifice on that end to make the defensive end work, to stop what you're doing. So if you make them work harder on that end, they can only do so much. And I don't care what you say. The regression of Duncan Robinson is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Duncan Robinson has become a piece that they're not even willing to start anymore. They're putting Strus into the lineup.
But does Tyler Hero make up for that in some ways?
I mean, listen, guys can score.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get that Bulls defense that we saw tonight in the second half, there's a difference between passing off Io to or passing off from Io to Alex Caruso. There's a difference between passing off from Alex Caruso to Patrick Williams. There's a difference between passing off Io to Javonte Green, Alex Caruso to Javonte Green. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a different kind of defense than the Bulls have had. And if they can find that rhythm, right? We're kind of trying to see, hey, were they just out of rhythm in this whole stretch? Is it just because they're back home? Is it like, what is it right now? So if they can find that rhythm going into Miami and play the way they did tonight, they can win every game the rest of this season.
Okay.
But you know what Miami's going to bring. You know the intensity they're going to bring. You know the atmosphere they're going to bring. Miami wants it to be an 80-point game, 90-point game. Because that means that they have you right where you want them. Though that's going to be a night where we need our stars to be our stars yet again. I need 20+ from each one of them, just like tonight.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. We need this momentum that we need to carry this over into every game that we have left is against a playoff team. This was a playoff atmosphere game, right? This is a playoff atmosphere game. And I'm not even saying that I necessarily need to see the Bulls win every game, but if we give this effort, like if the Bulls would have not been able to come up with it in overtime, I wouldn't even been mad. I would have, of course, been mad that my favorite team lost, but I wouldn't have been mad.
I was prepared to come in here and be like, I respect it. Respectable.
Yes, and that's what we need to see this team get back. Listen, the Miami Heat are coming, right? And we know what Jimmy Butler can do defensively. We know what Bam. We know Tyler Hero's going to come trying to, if we always let a role player go off, right? And as much as Tyler Hero is good and he's the sixth man of the year, he's still a role player. Yeah. And with that being said, like you can't let him go off. Now, what I'll say with this, what the Bulls unlocked defensively down the stretch of this game, I give that, if they can match that intensity and that focus, you can guard any team in the league like that. But we need to see it be more consistent. This game, the next 3 games are really measuring sticks, and they're going to really help determine where we end up sitting in these. Matter of fact, by the end of the next 3 games, Miami, Milwaukee, and Boston, add us in there. We're the top 4 of the top 5 teams in the East.
Yeah.
So it's really going to determine, and I want to see the Bulls come in there and know, hey, one of these teams are going to be our opponents in the first round. What we need to do is have great showings against them, not only to show our fans, for us to get some confidence. Listen, you talked about it in the last episode. This team is very much a team that needs to build their confidence, and they ride the wave when they do. Yeah. Not everyone played great in this game, but with the way that they played, if they can continue to ride that confidence, listen, the sky's the limit for the Chicago Bulls. And I hope that they look at this game as their measuring stick, and they look at this game as a test for them, a test by the fan base, everything. Because Miami isn't coming in giving us anything. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. It's going to be a playoff atmosphere game. It's going to be one of those games, again, where we have very many moments where we hate this team and love this team all at once. But we need to see this team.
You got to ride that wave. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Let me ask you this. Do you feel like you go into Miami saying, hey, if we can shut down this offensive juggernaut, we definitely can beat y'all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because let's be real about it. Like you saw them. If you watch this game, like don't look at the numbers. Go watch the game. I'm telling you, if you didn't watch the game, you have to watch the game. Women lie, men lie. The numbers lie as well. They were hitting tough, ridiculous shots in this game.
Markieff Morris was DeMar DeRozan in the first half.
Bro.
Period. You said that early. Literally, the shots that Markieff Morris was hitting, the shots that Reggie Jackson was coming down one dribble, shooting it like he was Steph Curry.
Reggie Jackson made it a 3-point game, hitting a shot that I'm pretty sure Zach LaVine fouled him on, as his wrists were going this way and his body was going this way.
Absolutely.
Like he was ridiculous. So I feel like you come out of this game saying, hey, we beat them, and we beat them not with defense for 48 minutes, clearly, but in defensive moments. If I feel that way there, I'm going into this Miami game like, no, maybe we are that defensive juggernaut that we thought we were. And whether the rest of the world believes it or not, the Clippers would be nowhere near the 8th seed if they didn't lose Paul George. And how they're playing right now, they're nowhere near an 8th seed.
Yeah. Hey, listen, the Brooklyn Nets in the East and the Clippers in the West are going to be teams that I guarantee you everybody's looking at like, damn, we really got to face these people. We got to face this team in the first round. Really? This is not fair.
100%.
So this may be the first year that a team in the number 1 seed is going to have a disadvantage than the team in the 2nd seed. As far as that first round match.
I'm not going to lie to you, right? Like, I still got Phoenix winning it, but that's going to be funny, dog. Like, the fact that in both conferences, your 1-8 matchup is going to be ridiculously competitive for or the 2-7. Hey, and I'll tell you what, all that smoke Philly had for us, y'all lost to Detroit. Shut up.
Boy.
Hey, y'all got smoked by Detroit. Shut up.
And in that what Detroit did to them in that fourth quarter is like bonkers, bro. It's like, man, listen.
Hey, and also we gotta watch out for Detroit next year. Keep your eye on them.
Oh yeah. Detroit. And you know what? It's so funny. Every time the Bulls start getting good, Detroit starts getting good at this. It goes hand in hand. The only time that it did not happen in the same time is when the Rasheed Wallace Detroit Pistons came together. We were dog shit then. We still played them tight in the games that we played against them. But
they were the champions though, yeah.
Yeah. So
but we knocked them out the playoffs though.
Yeah. Wait, no, we didn't. When did we knock Detroit out the playoffs?
Didn't we beat Detroit after the year after they won?
No, we beat Miami the year after.
Beat Miami the year after they won. Didn't we beat Detroit in the series with?
I don't think we ever beat Detroit in the series. I don't think so. I know we played them. We played them in the series the year before we drafted Derrick Rose. No, the year before that, and I think we got smoked. I think we won smoked? 2, and they came back and won 4 in a row.
You know what? That feels very familiar. So.
Yeah.
I might take your word on that one.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see. Hey man, that tonight is a night to celebrate, but you also have to understand that you still have more to go, a lot more to go. And if the Bulls don't realize that yet, they're gonna be in trouble. This game isn't indicative of what this team is yet. To me, yeah, you're right. Ooh. Yeah, we got smoked. Played them in 2007.
I thought so. Yeah.
That's tough. But you have to keep it coming. You have to keep the intensity coming. You have to keep the fire coming. You have to keep the fight coming. If you want any chance of beating this Miami team, whether we think that they're skidding, they're trying to get out of the first spot anyway, you can beat them, blah, blah, blah. They want to go into this playoff. Jimmy Butler wants to go into this playoff saying, I 4-0'd y'all. So come with that fight, man. Come with that aggression. I'm ready for the next game already, but I'm glad we got a day off in between. I'm tired. And I need my voice to come back.
Absolutely. Well, with that being said, Pat, let's go ahead and send them off, man. Go ahead and give the social medias before we get up out of here.
Hey, man, y'all can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. That is PATTHEDESIGNER. Yes, I did go to public school, but I can spell. And follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. Y'all know the Instagram and Twitter for to be busting tonight.
Absolutely. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me at CEO Haize. But thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen every day. Now make your second listen Locked On NBA, where the Locked On experts covering the biggest stories around the NBA every Monday through Friday in 30 minutes or less. It's free and available wherever podcasts are. But that is it from us for today. We love you, Bulls Nation. Let's go ahead and get out of here. JV and the Bulls with a dub. We out, y'all.